A new study says that AI isn't going to steal your job, but maybe not for the reasons that you think. Will AI make us more productive or will it take our jobs? This is, of course, one of the most debated questions in this field. And a new study from MIT came to some interesting conclusions. Welcome back to the AI Breakdown Brief, all the AI headline news you need in around 5 minutes. Now, this study was called Beyond AI Exposure: Which Tasks Are Cost-Effective to Automate with Computer Vision. Basically, what the researchers were trying to do is that they noticed that for as much bluster as there is about the robots and AI taking our jobs, people hadn't really tried to quantify how cost-effective it would be for that to happen. In their abstract, they write, "The previous literature on AI exposure cannot predict the pace of automation since it attempts to measure an overall potential for AI to affect an area, not the technical feasibility and economic attractiveness of building such systems." In this article, we present a new type of AI task automation model that is end-to-end, estimating the level of technical performance needed to do a task, the characteristics of an AI system capable of that performance, and the economic choice of whether to build and deploy such a system. The result is a first estimate of which tasks are technically feasible and economically attractive to automate and which are not. Now, here is the upshot and the statistic that's getting a ton of attention. Basically, they found that at current costs, most US businesses would choose not to automate most vision tasks that have AI exposure. That only 23% of worker wages being paid for vision tasks would be attractive to automate. The conclusion they come to is that while AI job displacement will be substantial, it'll also be gradual and hemmed in by cost, and that gradual process gives us time for things like policy changes, retraining, reskilling, and basically minimizing the disruption of what will be substantial job displacement. Now, to give a little bit of a sense of the type of thing that they were doing here, let's go into the study where they write, "A simple hypothetical example makes clear why these considerations are so important. Consider a small bakery evaluating whether to automate with computer vision. One task that bakers do is visually check their ingredients to ensure they are of sufficient quality, e.g. unspoiled. This task could theoretically be replaced with a computer vision system by adding a camera and training the system to detect food that has gone bad. Even if this visual inspection task could be separated from other parts of the production process, would it be cost-effective to do so? Bureau of Labor Statistics data imply that checking food quality comprises roughly 6% of the duties of a baker. A small bakery with 5 bakers making typical salaries, $48,000 each per year, thus has a potential labor savings from automating this task of $14,000 per year. This amount is far less than the cost of developing, deploying, and maintaining a computer vision system, and so we would conclude that it is not economical to substitute human labor with an AI system at this bakery." Now, at the same time, they know that this picture of the economy is not likely to stand still. They write, "Over time, changes in the cost of AI systems or the scale at which they are deployed have the potential to increase automation. Scale can be gained either by firms getting larger, e.g. through more market share, or through the formation of AI as a service operations. The former effect is unlikely to be meaningful in the short term because it would require too great a redistribution of firm sizes in the economy. The latter, where AI system development costs could be offset by deploying the systems across many firms, would make many more systems economically attractive, but it would likely require industry collaborations or policy initiatives to enable data sharing across companies. The economic advantages of machines will also improve as computer vision deployments become cheaper, but even with rapid decreases in cost of 20% per year, it would still take decades for computer vision tasks to become economically efficient for firms." Now, I personally think that these researchers are underestimating the speed at which some of this is going to change. I think that we are going to see over the next couple years an unbelievable flourishing of exactly the sort of AI as a service operations that they're talking about. I also wouldn't be surprised if we see cost decreases of more than 20% per year. But I still think that even if their timescale is significantly less than they think, the point that they're making, that there is a transitional period in which we can deploy policy remediations, reskilling programs, new education programs, etc., is a good one and an opportunity that we should throw ourselves into headlong. It's certainly something that I'm thinking about a lot, as you will probably tell when you hear the ad for the February version of the AI education beta program we're running. So if you want to check that out, wait for more information in that ad. Next up, however, on the brief, let's talk about Elon Musk for a moment. Couple interesting things surrounding Elon and AI, the first of which is a conversation with Dr. Jordan Peterson on X. Peterson writes, "Excuse me, Elon Musk, is there any way of modifying Grok so that it does not provide scientific references that do not in fact exist? It is just as prone as ChatGPT to do so, maybe not quite as bad. I am using it constantly as a research source. Whatever references it provides, I read and then if valid and useful, cite. But it provides false but face valid references at least 20% of the time. This is not good. It's partly, of course, because it derives all the information from the semantic and is not grounded in the real world of emotion, motivation, image, and behavior that exists in parallel to the semantic, but it is still providing false information. Elon responded simply, yes, Grok 1.5 should be out next month with substantial improvements across the board. So there you have it, Grok 1.5 next month. And now that he said it publicly, even if they weren't going to be ready, you better believe we're going to see Grok 1.5 next month. Now, there was also an interesting conversation between Elon Musk and XPRIZE founder Peter Diamandis on Peter's podcast, where Elon talks about a secret gigawatt-class GPU cluster being built in Kuwait.
I recently heard today about a gigawatt-class AI compute cluster. Wow. And it's 700,000 B100s. This is a staggering amount of compute.
Obviously, people are very interested in that and trying to figure out what project he's referring to. And of course, the Middle East is increasingly taking shape as the literal middle space between the US and China when it comes to AI competition, so something that I'm keeping an eye on closely. Moving over to another company in the AI space, Google, who has a lot to prove with the release of Gemini Ultra this year, a memo of their company-wide goals for 2024, which was shared with employees and leaked this week, surprise, surprise, puts AI right at the very top. The number one goal in Sundar Pichai's memo is to deliver the world's most advanced, safe, and responsible AI. If you thought there was going to be any slowing down of the AI competition this year, think again. Lastly today, a really interesting resource for you. I've spent a lot of time on this show talking about how much developer attention there is on AI agents. It sort of feels like the obvious next area that we're moving into. From generative AI doing things that we prompt it to do, i.e. tasks, to generative AI being able to figure out what tasks are necessary to accomplish a base-level goal, and then being able to actually execute those tasks. Teresa Tiskova tweets, new awesome list of AI agents here. The original GitHub list got so popular that we added a website. 150 plus AI agents and frameworks, filterable by use case, filterable by open and closed source. And so a really interesting resource for anyone who wants to keep track of that full landscape of what's going on in the AI agent space. However, that is going to do it for today's AI Breakdown Brief. I'll be back soon with the main AI Breakdown.